Alright guys, this is just an introductory Nearpod to give you some ideas of what's expected of you this year in 8th grade advanced history, particularly while we are doing school virtually. So you can go back and view the Nearpod yourself. There's a link to it in the Schoology page. There is also a code right here that you can just enter into Nearpod directly to access the student-paced version of this. Now, as always, I expect you to be prompt, polite, prepared, productive, and patient with one another. I expect that in person. I expect that virtually. That means I expect you to log into daily lessons at the correct time. You need to log into Schoology each day to be counted present, and I need you to turn your work in on time for my class, just like you would if this were in-person school. I expect you to be kind or neutral to everyone. I don't tolerate any sort of bullying in this classroom, whether it's virtual bullying or in person. I also expect you to be prepared. I want you to finish your work on time. I'd like you to show up for the online lessons daily as much as possible. And you need to use your time wisely. Virtual school can get a little bit ahead of you if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, stay on task. I will do my absolute best not to overwhelm you. I know we're all working through a difficult time right now, but you need to stay focused on your schoolwork. You need to make sure you're doing what you need to do to be successful. And finally, I expect you to be patient, to listen to others when they are speaking. Wait your turn. Please don't talk over one another in virtual lessons and things like that. Mute your microphone while we are having a lesson unless you need to speak so that we don't get a lot of background noise, that sort of thing. This is new for all of us, so be patient with yourself, be patient with your classmates, and please be patient with me as well. We're all trying to figure this out. As far as grades go, at least for first quarter, you will have major grades that are 60% of your grade. This will include tests. You will have 3 major grade tests this quarter, and that's it. That's directed by the school, so that's what we have to do. There will be open-ended questions on the advanced class tests, at least for history, which is not something that you would see in the regular classroom, so be aware of that. You won't have the exact same test as, say, the other 8th grade history teachers would be giving their students. Minor grades will count for 40% of your grade this year, and you will have overall 7 grades, 4 of which are minor grades. That's going to be it as far as what's graded. You need to make sure that you do all of your work, focus on what you're doing, do your absolute best, because there's not going to be a lot of wiggle room with grades. I'm not allowed to give you more than 7 assignments, 7 grades, so keep that in mind. There will not be an EQT this year, which is both a good and a bad thing. If you slack off during the quarter, there's not an exam to save you at the end of the quarter. So you need to make sure you're doing your best throughout the school year. If you have any questions about your grades, you will be able to access your grades on Schoology once they post. If you have questions, ask me right away. I'll do my best to find out an answer for you. If I don't know, I'll find somebody who does. You should receive your grades within 10 days of completing them, usually sooner. I will meet the grade deadlines, as I always do. I try to make sure I keep up with your grades and stay ahead of that, so you should be able to get your grades more quickly than 10 days. If we were to do essays, which I don't have plans to give you actual essay assignments, at least for first quarter, that would take longer to grade, however, so be patient with me if I give an essay at some point this school year. Class schedules. On blue days, you will attend 1st, 3rd, and 5th period. On gold days, you will attend 2nd, 4th, and 6th period. You're also supposed to check in with your homeroom class each morning at 7:15. You'll have about 2 hours in each class, and you are only attending those 3 classes each day. You're also going to have a 30-minute lunch break, either between 3rd or 4th period classes, sometime in your 3rd and 4th period classes. That should start around 11:40 and last until 12:10. So your teacher will probably let you know that, yes, it is time for you to take your lunch break. Attendance. Log into Schoology every day. We have to see that you logged into Schoology in order to count you as present, so you need to stay on top of that. Every teacher should be holding a virtual conference each day, teaching your class. So every other day you will see me virtually unless you do not log in when you're supposed to. That's your time to ask questions, to discuss different issues, get that direct instruction that you need from your teachers. So try to be on time for those. I am going to have recordings like this that will be on my YouTube channel, so you can access stuff that you missed, but it's still not the same as being able to ask me questions directly. So make sure you log into Schoology and that you're attending the virtual meetings as often as possible. Homework. Participation grades. I'm not giving you actual homework, although technically I guess virtual school is homework. You won't have literal homework assignments. However, in order to do well in this class, I still suggest that you spend some time outside of the normal school hours reviewing and studying the materials for this class. I will always give you, for example, the guided readings that have your vocabulary words for that chapter. You should look through those materials. They will be in the content folder for whatever week we are on. So you need to look through those things. The Nearpods will always be on the Schoology page as well for you to access. That's stuff that you need to spend maybe 10 to 20 minutes every night or every other night reviewing. That's how you study. Take notes on the in-person lessons and go over those every night or every other night. Just spend a little bit of time making sure that you have properly reviewed your material so that it stays in your head a little bit better and you're able to recall the information. Finally, virtual learning ethics. Now guys, this is really important. This is going to require an increased amount of responsibility on your part because you're not going to be in the classroom with me physically to give you the reminders as often. So it's very important that you follow these online learning rules and expectations. If you go to the Schoology page and look in the welcome folder, you will find a virtual learning ethics PDF for my class that will explain exactly what I expect of you. And we will go over this the first week of school as well. It is extremely important that you follow those rules and expectations. You are responsible for proper behavior during online learning. You need to always use a computer in a way that shows consideration and respect. No bullying, no obscene or profane language, no threatening or disrespectful behavior. I also expect you to work with integrity. I expect your schoolwork to be authentically yours. Don't cut, copy, or plagiarize internet content or the work of your classmates and then submit it to me as though it is yours. Usually, I recognize it when you have copied something from the internet. A lot of you have already had me as a teacher, which means I'm familiar with your writing style and the way that you speak and the way that you write. And if you copy an article from the internet that was written by a doctoral student at Harvard, it's probably not going to sound like you. I can find the materials that you've plagiarized pretty easily. It is also illegal for you to plagiarize materials like that. So it is very important that the work that you turn into me is your work. I don't need to know that your classmate can do the work. I need to know that you are on the right page and that you know what's going on in the classroom. If you copy other people's work and you plagiarize and you do these things, then I might not realize that you don't know what's going on or that you're struggling with a certain concept, and then I can't reach out and give you the help that you need because I think you're on the right page. So please, please, please do your own work for yourself. Now, as far as correspondence, it is extremely important for you to remember that the things you type and say on Schoology, on WebEx, none of that's private. It is something that we can access. The school can access it. I can access it. You need to make sure that you're not doing anything that is inappropriate. You're not sending any messages that you shouldn't be sending or saying things that you shouldn't say. Also, protect your password. Everybody else doesn't need to know your password. I do not want somebody logging into your Schoology account and messing up your work because you shared your password. Your parents can know your password, and that's it. Don't share it with other people. Finally, abuse of internet platforms and tools will result in disciplinary action. If I find out or I get any hint of you doing the things that are listed below, you should expect some form of disciplinary action depending on what it is that you have done. Problems that have come up in the past with virtual learning that will result in disciplinary action are things like sending or posting discriminatory, harassing, or threatening messages or images, stealing, using, or disclosing someone else's code or password, violating copyright law. That has to do with plagiarism. If you copy something off of the internet that's not yours, you have violated copyright law. Participating in the viewing or exchange of obscene materials, sending or posting messages that defame or slander other individuals, jeopardizing the security of the organization's electronic communication system, disturbing the virtual learning environment. That would mean that during online lessons, you are causing disruption. Other offenses include refusing to follow the rules of the learning environment, unmuting yourself if your teacher has placed you on mute, recording class sessions and then transmitting it. You are not permitted to record the class sessions. If you need to rewatch or go back over the materials, there will be class sessions uploaded to my YouTube channel. You can access those through Schoology by clicking on the button on my opening page that says Recorded Lessons. You may not record me or your classmates. It is not legal for you to do that. You are not supposed to do that. You may not dress, another issue is sometimes students don't want to dress properly for class. Now, I'm not concerned about really terribly much what you're wearing, but please make sure that it's appropriate, that you're not wearing something revealing. Just, make sure that you are wearing something that is okay for you to wear while other people are conferencing with us. And participation in cyberbullying or harassment in any way. The final and most important thing that I want to stress to you is that cheating and plagiarism will be met with disciplinary action. That is very important. All of these things are issues that come up in virtual learning environments on the regular. You need to be aware of them, and you need to be careful. I don't want anybody getting in trouble because they made bad choices online and were bullying somebody, and all of that's going to be something that we will be able to see and access. And it's just not okay to bully people either way. Be kind to each other, be patient with each other. This is a difficult time for everyone, and we need to be patient. We need to care about one another. We need to behave ourselves appropriately. So keep those things in mind, please. Finally, on the issue of plagiarism and cheating. Plagiarism is when you steal and pass off the ideas or words of another as your own, or you use another's production without crediting the source. It is okay to borrow some lines from online material, provided that you put it in quotation marks and you cite the source of your information. That's fine. However, when you copy that information and present it like you wrote it, that's stealing somebody else's intellectual property, and that is illegal. There are laws and consequences in place for doing that. College students get expelled for pulling that kind of thing. So you need to be very careful. If you are caught plagiarizing, I will give you a 0 on the assignment. You will not make that assignment up. Make good choices. It's illegal to copy information from the internet without citing the source, or books or articles or anything else of that nature. It's usually pretty obvious when you've done something like this, so keep that in mind. If you're not sure how to cite a source, ask or look it up. I'll help, just don't plagiarize. Cheating is a little bit different, but they're both pretty closely related. When you cheat, it's basically you're using deceit to trick your teacher or someone else into believing that something is your material when it's actually another student's. They're closely linked, plagiarism and cheating, but cheating usually means you've copied another student's work or you've allowed another student to copy your work. That includes tests, minor assignments, anything of that sort. Again, guys, I need to know that you've mastered the material. I don't need to know that Johnny, who sits beside you, has mastered the material. I need to see what you are capable of doing. If I don't see what you're capable of doing, I might think that you've got it under control, that you understand what's going on when you actually don't, which means I might not be able to give you the support that you need in the classroom. And so it really hurts you in the long run when you cheat like this. Again, if I catch you cheating or plagiarizing, you get a 0 on whatever grade that was. You will not make that assignment up. You made a choice, and you're going to deal with the consequences of that choice. So make good choices. And that about sums it up, guys. I hope you have a great year. Let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. We are going to make it through all of this.